Hi Scorpio, welcome back to my channel, Karma Fox. I am doing your weekly reading. I hope you're doing really well. I'm going to take a second to remind you that this is a general reading. It may not resonate with every Scorpio out there. So guys, just take what resonates for you and just leave the rest for someone else. Remember too that the energies can reverse. So if it sounds like you're reading, get in where you fit in, but don't force yourself into a reading that's not for you. Spirit, can I have the energy of the sign of Scorpio? Scorpio. Well, that came out very quickly. All right, Scorpio, you're starting out with the Magician in the reverse. You have the Death card in reverse, and you have the Three of Pentacles. So, Scorpio, something here didn't turn out the way you had hoped or thought it would. I do feel like you don't feel like it's over, like there's still hope for the situation. There's almost like this this tie that you have with this person that you feel like can't quite be broken, and that there could possibly be like a light still on in this connection. You want to work this out. You're looking at how you can, you know, work it out, and will this person be cooperative with you? So let me see who is in your energy. I feel like what you're desiring is a very stable base to grow from, but it didn't turn out that way. So who is in Scorpio's energy? I feel like you're pretty stable, which is very positive. All right, so the person in your energy, we have the Knight of Wands in the reverse. We have the Six of Wands reversed and the Ace of Wands reversed. So yeah, this person in your energy is going through some sort of a karmic lesson or a karmic cycle. Right now, I feel like this may have been an on and off situation. This person has a difficult time committing to anything because they feel like they're going to get hurt. They're going to get burned in some manner. They have a tendency to try to approach relationships from more of a physical standpoint. It's almost like they're afraid of any kind of commitment or emotional tie. So they kind of try to do like the friends with benefits, or they, you know, like they're in really hot and heavy for a while and then they just disappear kind of thing, which kind of makes them look a little bit like a player. For some of them, they're aware of it. For others, you know, they may not be aware of this, but that's kind of how they're coming across. It's really stemming from their thought that if they actually do commit to a connection, that they're going to get hurt in some manner. And so their rationale is, well, it's not going to work out anyway, so, you know, why should I put that much of myself into it? I also feel like this is somebody who desires to have the attention of a lot of people. So let me look at, I do see the ending here. Let me see, and I also see you're not currently talking. So show me the energy between Scorpio and this person. Yeah, there's the ending. Ace of Cups in the reverse. It's not how you thought this was going to turn out. You thought this was going to be like a beautiful connection, a beautiful relationship. And I feel like you're feeling pretty drained right now. Show me what's affecting this connection. This person could have like issues from their family of origin, or like something from their childhood, and that is causing them to, you know, basically sabotage themselves. So what's affecting the connection is the Four of Pentacles. You're both still kind of holding on to each other, you more so than them. You're also, though, both very guarded. For some of you, money could be an issue. I don't think it is on your side because you look pretty stable, but they could have had a financial loss that has affected them as well, and it may have shaken their confidence. Let me see, show me the outcome for Scorpio. If that is the case, they likely have not told you or don't want to tell you about it. The Sun, you're going to get clarification on this. Yeah, there's happiness that's coming towards you. And in this particular deck with the Sun, one of the figures is pregnant. So, you know, that could indicate a pregnancy, or it could indicate something that is beginning to grow. It is coming out on your side. And so you're going to get the clarity you need on this situation, though, in the very near future. Bottom of the deck, and believe me, you have something solid that's coming in as well that's going to make you very happy. Now, it could be financial, could be a pregnancy if you're trying to get pregnant. It could be just something that is growing for you. If it is financial or something that's growing that's not within this relationship, it is something you may be doing cooperatively with other people. Bottom of the deck is the Page of Wands in the reverse. That's underlying energy. And it does tell me that, you know, you're trying to choose what path you need to go on. You're trying to choose what direction to take. There is a temptation to move down this particular path, but I also feel like there's a little bit of a halt. It also tells me that there is a lack of communication currently. Spirit, why is the Magician in reverse? Show me the Magician in reverse. Some of you could work in like the court systems, or perhaps legal or military. There's an energy here of being very justice-minded. Show me the Magician in reverse. All right, so you have the Justice card, you have Judgment. Yeah, you're trying to make the right choices. You're trying to make very honest, very just, very well thought out, and use good judgment in all your decisions. So your intentions are really, really clear, really, really like moral, honest. And I do feel that you did the best you could to bring in a very balanced energy here. You were doing the right things, and it didn't pan out the way you wanted it to. And I do feel like it's left you feeling extremely drained right now, but you're still determined to do the right things and to bring a balanced energy. And you would like to reconcile with this person. Let me see the Death card, because I feel like you don't feel like things are over. Show me the Death card in reverse. You may be trying not to think about this person. And the more you try not to think of them, the more you do. All right, so we have the Strength card in reverse. We have the Four of Cups in the reverse. Again, it's that energy of feeling emotionally drained. But there's also an energy of you knowing that you need to work on yourself. There's an energy here of you feeling unvalued by this person, which is why you're very guarded. There's a sense here of you understanding that this relationship wasn't as strong as it could have been because it was unstable. Emotionally, it was unstable. And so I do see you looking at this and saying, okay, well, I don't think things are fully over between us, but I need to start working on myself a little bit. Let me see the Three of Pentacles. You may feel a little bit disrespected by this person as well. Like what you were bringing to the table, they couldn't seem to really comprehend. They couldn't see it, you know? All right, the Star card in reverse. The Eight of Coins reversed. Eight of Cups reversed, and the Six of Cups. Yeah. So your energy is kind of split. It's a little bit split. This has brought up a lot of insecurities for you. And you're realizing you need to work these things out. Your emotions have been like up and down, up and down. You're not as grounded as you want to be, especially emotionally. And you know that this is something that you have to address, you have to work on. So I do see you having some realizations about that. And after having these realizations, that's when you're going to put the work into that. But you're going to be putting the work into yourself. Now, I do also feel that you are hoping that this person will come back into your life. And I also feel like you might want to go and contact them, but you're not doing it. You're not putting effort into that because you feel like that's not going to take you down the road that you want to be. Do you love this person? You do. Do you want to work it out and have a reconciliation? You do. But are you guarded? Yes. Has it brought up some realizations about yourself that you need to address? Yes. So I do feel that while you might want to chase after this person, I'm not so sure you're going to. Some of you might. But I feel like ultimately you're not going to put the effort into doing that. You're going to put the effort into taking care of you. So let me look at this person's energy. You may have known this person a long time. Let me see the Knight of Wands reversed. You may feel this person is a soulmate. All right, so we have the Eight of Swords reversed, and we have the Queen of Wands reversed. So they're over here basically living their best life. They're acting like they're not concerned, that they're not worried about it, that they basically, you know, shut down communication. They aren't talking with you. They aren't taking any action towards you. They ended this connection and they seem totally unbothered, but that is not actually the case. What they're doing, Scorpio, is they are hiding behind this veneer because they fear commitment. They fear being exposed. They fear being hurt. And so I do feel like this is somebody that can be very charismatic when they want to be, but when things don't go the way they want, they can be kind of bitter, a little bit mean. So, and they can act like it doesn't bother them, but it's a veneer. Let me see the Six of Wands. This person is very concerned with what other people, you know, think of them, how other people view them. So this is somebody who likes the approval of others, of all ages too. All right, so we have the World in reverse and the Three of Swords. Yeah, that's exactly it. So they're feeling very hurt. Now, they could have brought in some third-party energy, and if they did, that did not work out. But again, it's that same attitude of them, you know, acting like nothing bothers them. Here's the thing, is that the World is in reverse. So I feel like you holding back and directing that energy into yourself is causing them to say, well, why isn't Scorpio chasing me? Why isn't Scorpio contacting me? Why, you know, why is Scorpio not admiring me and coming after me? And so it hurts them. They're feeling hurt. And this is causing them to like think about everything that happened. They feel like things aren't over. You feel like things aren't over. But because you're not chasing them and admiring them and trying to work it out with them, they're taking on this mentality that they are the one who's heartbroken. But only with you. Like when they are out and about, they're like, oh, I'm not worried. I'm good. Everything's fine. Who needs Scorpio? But that's not the case. That's not the case. Let me see. So this person's image is very important to them. Why is the Ace of Wands in reverse? I don't know if maybe in the past you chased after this person. Because I do see that you want to now, but you're not doing it. I will tell you that this person, it bothers them deeply how other people view them, which is why they put on that facade. Show me the Ace of Wands in reverse. Yeah, they're unhappy. Ten of Cups reversed and the Two of Swords reversed. They're very unhappy. It was their choice to end this connection. They disappeared on you. I'm surprised I don't see like the Hermit card, because it almost appears like they just kind of cut it off and just, you know, acted like it was, they had to because Scorpio's got all these issues or whatever. But the truth is that they are hurt that you're not chasing them. Yeah, they're very unhappy, and they're actually they're actually heartbroken, but they would never show that in a million years. Let me see. Show me the energy between Scorpio and this person. All right, we have the Six of Pentacles and we have the King of Wands reversed. Yeah, this person wants you to do the work, to do the chasing after. They're not taking any action and they are quite bitter, actually. And they're acting like they're not concerned. They're not worried. They're out here, you know, acting like everything's great. They're in this player type energy. They're not talking to you. And you're over here trying to find balance in your life. You're actually showing up here, Scorpio, as being somebody that is very balanced, very generous. Somebody who is very concerned with making the right choices. And this just didn't manifest well. But it didn't manifest because this person is, they're afraid of commitment and they're afraid of getting hurt. And so they sabotage this relationship. And by sabotaging it and putting this veneer, they actually hurt themselves. Yeah. Let me see what's affecting the connection, please. Oh. Page of Wands and the Three of Wands. Well, some of you may contact this person, but if you do, it's going to be something very small. A lot of you have met somebody else, or you're going to meet somebody else, but you still don't feel like this is over. And I definitely feel like you would date this person. You would go, you know, back with this person because you're holding on to them, but you're guarded with them. You're actually, for those of you who have met somebody new, you're guarded with that person as well. But a lot of that is because you're still not over this person. This person's waiting for you to contact them. They're waiting for you to reach out. That's what they want. And the longer you don't, the more they're like, what is happening here? Like, why isn't Scorpio contacting me? Like, they're becoming more and more unsure, more and more uncertain. Let me see the outcome. Yeah, some of you guys may have met somebody. Phew, excuse me. Show me the outcome for Scorpio. All right, we have the Ten of Wands and we have the Seven of Swords. Oof. Queen of Pentacles reversed and the Knight of Cups reversed. Whoa. Whoa. All right, so Scorpio. Wow. All right, so I do see the loss that's here. But there's also an energy of you not trusting this person. You're looking at this, and it's definitely the person from the past. You're looking at this person as somebody who, you know, brings in gifts, brings in flowers, acts, you know, lovey-dovey, comes back in, but then doesn't put the work into it, and you're over it. You're basically saying, I know there's other fish in the sea. I know that there are other people. And this person is over here just waiting for me to contact them. They're not putting any effort in. I tried to do the right things and it just didn't turn out no matter how much I tried. And so I feel like you taking this healing energy here, you looking at yourself and saying, you know, I got to work on me. I feel like that's what brings in this new person for some of you. And you start to have some realizations. Because this new person's not treating you with the disrespect. Even though you're very guarded with that person, that new person could be recently out of a relationship as well. I see you, though, accepting the ending of this connection. And when you do so, that's what is bringing in the peace, the happiness. It's clarity that's bringing in happiness. It's a realization that this person you've been dealing with from the past is deceitful, that they're not on the up and up. They're not being honest with you. And that's where you're deciding not to work it out with them, even though I think you would have if they were coming in the proper energy, because you wanted to work it out. But I think you're going to be building something with someone else. Maybe even somebody you've known for a long time, but it does look like you're seeing this person very clearly, and you're deciding that you, versus you compromising yourself any further, you're gonna end this. You can't trust them. You're like, I can't carry this any longer. My happiness is important as well. Now, in their energy, they're feeling very rejected. They feel very rejected. So what they're doing, and I still don't see them actually approaching you, because they're still sitting over here waiting for you. And so what they're basically doing is they're denying the commitment, because they feel like, that's going to bring them additional pain. And they're trying to make it look like it's your fault. They're not over you. They are still holding on to your energy, but they've made a decision to hold back. And they're holding back their feelings, their emotions. They're holding back any kind of genuine offering of love. But they're as unhappy as they can be. And they're having to look at you being happy. Wow. That's crazy. So they sabotage this connection out of their own fears and their own toxic traits. And you're choosing not to carry that burden. So, yeah, wow. Bottom of the deck is the Sun in reverse. Now that's underlying energy, and it's basically you're saying, I have a choice between choosing my own happiness or going down this other path with somebody I haven't even been talking to, and that would make me unhappy. You were very unclear, and you may still even be a little bit unclear, because I do see you still being guarded. There's this energy of you being unclear what direction to take. But some of you have met somebody new. And that person that you are meeting, if you haven't met them, you will. And that person is actually it's going to make you very happy. This new person is going to be very respectful towards you. But you're so busy right now thinking about this past person. And I get it. I understand why. But you're going to learn that you cannot trust this person. And I'm not saying they're a bad person. I don't see anything that says they're a bad person, but they definitely have issues with commitment. They have issues with trust. They have issues with taking action. They want to be chased. And they let the views of other people rule their world, so they can't be very secure. Well, interesting. All right, I'm going to pull an oracle card, and we'll see if there's any further messages for you. That was quick. All right. So, well, that's ominous. It says, number 25, death moves amongst us. Now, let me definitely, don't click off. Let's read that, because that sounds so ominous, doesn't it? All right. With the full expression of this life comes the knowledge that death walks among us. Within every breath and every step dwells the mortality so many fear. Do not deny this ending. Honor those who have left this life with ceremony, ritual, respect. Acknowledge that they are no longer here in the same way, for there will be many deaths in your life. Learn to live with this truth so that death is not a fearful enemy, but a gateway to another life. You have been so many forms. Before we can become again, we must pass through death's gateway and let our souls wander free for a time. We can then wisely choose what comes next on the path of the soul. So some of you may have experienced a death in your family or your friend group, somebody that you know that could be affecting you. And if so, my condolences to you. But others of you, it's the death of this connection. And basically what this is saying is wonder for a little bit. Don't feel like you have to necessarily be with anyone. Remember, you're making a choice here to work on yourself. All right, so I hope that this has been helpful, Scorpio. If you've resonated with this reading, hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Hype the video if you get the opportunity. And until I see you in your next reading, Scorpio, know that you are loved, and namaste.